Angel has a rectangular flower garden with a total area of 80 square feet. She wants to plant flowers in rows that are the same size. Number one, we're asked to sketch the border of the garden. Well, we know the garden has an area of 80 square feet, but we were not given the dimensions of the flower garden. But because the garden is a rectangle, and we know the area of a rectangle is equal to length times width, if we can determine two numbers that give us a product of 80, this will give us possible dimensions of the rectangular flower garden. So maybe the most obvious product would be 8 times 10, because 8 times 10 is equal to 80, which means if we sketch a rectangle that's 8 feet by 10 feet, it would have an area of 80 square feet. Let's go ahead and sketch an 8 by 10 rectangle on this grid. Which of these units is equal to 1 foot? So if we start here, we would go down 8 units for one side of the garden, and the adjacent side would be 10 feet, so we'll go right 10 units to here, and now we can form the rectangle. So again, this garden is 8 feet by 10 feet, which would have an area of 80 square feet. Now for number 2, we're asked to show how she can divide her garden, where she wants to divide this into rows of the same size. So we first need to decide whether we want to divide the garden horizontally or vertically. Let's go ahead and divide it horizontally, and again the rows can be any width as long as each row is the same size. So maybe the most obvious way would be to make each row a width of 1 foot like this, but this is not the only way to divide the garden into rows of equal size, which we'll take a look at it again in a moment. But if we did divide the garden in this way, notice how we divided the garden into 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 rows. So for number 3, we're asked to write an equation for the model. Remember, an equation does have an equal sign in it. So the equation is going to involve division. We took the total garden with an area of 80 square feet, and we divided it into 8 rows of equal size. So we'd have 80 divided by 8 equals 10, where 10 is the area of each row. So again, if we take a rectangular garden of 80 square feet and divide it into 8 rows of equal size, each row is going to have an area of 10 square feet. Now let's look at this again and divide the garden in a different way. So we'll change our equation and we'll change our model. Let's see now we make each row 2 feet wide. So we would divide the garden here, here, and here. Again, notice how each row does have the same size, but now we took the garden and divided it into 4 rows instead of 8, which means our equation now would be 80, the total area of the garden, divided by the number of rows, which is now 4, must equal the area of each row, which is 20. So there is more than one way to answer this question correctly. I hope you found this helpful.